Because Ilhan Omar, folks, the moment you watch this, you're going to need a blood pressure pill. You may need a Tylenol, but don't take it if you're pregnant because, you know, they're making some announcements. President Trump and Maha's going to make some announcements. So before you take Tylenol, please watch the announcement that they're making today. Tylenol just took a massive hit. But just woosah for a second while you hear this motivational speaker from the left. Go ahead.
It was the video where it called him Dr. Frankenstein and said his monster shot him through the neck. I mean, obviously this is a person, and looking at this is someone who was a husband and a father, and in the days after his shocking death, that happened as a result of his views, or it happened as a result as he was sharing his views publicly with people, that people found it jarring to hear such criticism of that in the immediate aftermath.
What I find jarring is that there are so many people willing to excuse the most reprehensible things that he said, that they agree with that they're willing to have monuments for him, that they want to create a day to honor him, and that they want to produce resolutions in the House of Congress honoring his life and legacy. It is one thing to care about his life because obviously so many people loved him, including his children and wife. But I am not going to sit here and be judged for not wanting to honor any legacy this man has left behind. That should be in the dustbin of history, and we should hopefully move on and forget the hate that he spewed every single day.
Unbelievable.
Is it unbelievable? Is it unbelievable?
So that's one.
Yeah.
Okay. Rob.
Yeah.
Crockett, who is possibly a candidate for 2028. I know people joke about it.
Well, hopefully she
But
is.
I'm telling you, she's a candidate for 2028.
Please.
Rob, is this the clip with her with Dana Bash?
This is where they talk about the resolution to honor Charlie Kirk and her response, why she was upset by it.
Go for it.
That came before the House this past week honoring Charlie Kirk. And there were 58 Democrats who voted against it. You were one.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely. You know what? One of the things I do want to point out that's not been laid out that honestly hurts my heart is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians. For the most part, the only people that voted no were people of color because the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was specifically to us. And I can tell you that a month prior to him passing away, he had actually gotten out on his podcast. I wasn't aware of this at the time, but he got out there and he was talking negatively about me directly. So if there was any way that I was going to honor somebody who decided that they were just going to negatively talk about me and proclaim that I was somehow involved in the great white replacement, yeah, I'm not honoring that kind of stuff, especially as a civil rights attorney and understanding how I got to Congress, knowing that there were people that died, people that were willing to die, that worked to make sure that voices like mine could exist in this place. So to me, just like we wanted to make sure.
Vinny, thoughts?
Well, first of all, she has multiple personality syndrome because you could, that's not how she speaks. When she's in front of a different crowd, it's like, yeah, child. Mm-hmm. She turns into
she lets her ghetto out
completely
a little bit.
different person. Rob, I sent you another clip. Pat, look at this. This is just a quick montage of this interview.
I do want to play a couple of statements that you made earlier this year.
Okay. Unfortunately, we have someone that is occupying the White House, and as far as I'm concerned, he is an enemy to the United States. They want to show that they are loyal to this, I don't even know what to call him. I've called him so many things, but this wannabe Hitler for sure.
Boom. Hitler, enemy.
And to be clear, the president has attacked, other people have attacked you.
She has to piggyback off of it.
Maybe not him personally. But do you have a responsibility as an elected official not to raise the temperature, but rather lower the temperature, particularly when there are people out there who listen to elected officials all over the place who are not well, who use that as a way to instigate the political violence that you are calling out?
I think that my responsibility is to be transparent and to be honest. And the reality is that we are living in a time in which this administration and this regime is not interested in making sure that people understand history. We need to understand why they are so problematic. And so I am using that language because it is accurate language. When we see the consolidation of power,
Rob, you can stop
when
it.
we see
So
them
you
trying
notice,
to
you hear the words, you hear the three: regime, Hitler, all those type of rhetoric. So Adam, when you're asking to go back which side, this is the side. This is the, and I remember yesterday when I was asking, like, what's the percentage of Democrats that are openly professing their faith, that love God, that say that they're Christians? I'm very curious because I don't hear it at all. Zero. From the Obamas to the Hillarys to Jasmine Crockett to all these people. So Adam, when you ask what side, the Obama, Hillary, Crockett, the podcasters, the streamers, the left-wing media, James Comey, Pritzker, Newsom, I don't feel personally that this side has any compassion. They don't have any love. They are godless. They've taken out God completely. I've yet to hear one of them say, thank God, or pray for Charlie, or pray for his wife. And it is that side. And Adam, I can't even get mad. I truly, and Eric is a great example, I have to pray. That's the hardest thing. I told Pat last night while we were on the plane, I get a message from a guy named Todd. I'm not going to say his last name. The message was like this. Hey, don't know if this is still your number, and I'm going to take out all the cuss words, but you know what? F you, what you were in California with, you womanizer, F you and Charlie, and hey, you're orange, blah, 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 blah. Adam, you know what old Vinny would have done? Voice message, FaceTime, I would have gone in. I blocked, I deleted, I felt my blood pressure going up, but that's what the other side wants, and I don't see the love, Adam. I don't see the compassion. So when I say the other sides, as much as Tommy, we have to pray for them, Pat, it's not getting through their head. So when there is a clear divide, it's like we could keep preaching, we could keep hoping, like a Van Jones. That's what Charlie did, is reached out, and it hit Van Jones, and he got to see it, and his team actually let him know. Van didn't see it, Pat. His team goes, hey, just FYI, this is what happened, because they're not open. They're not looking for it. So what do you do, Adam, when you have that side? That's what the other side. There's good, Adam, and there's evil, and you have to call it out. So, you have to.
By the way, a clip to show, and Adam,
sure.
I'm going to come to you. This is a clip, Rob, I sent you, depicting on how one side responds when there's a loss or an assassination attempt versus the other side. Go ahead, Rob.
So I throw up my head to praise you again.
Wow.
Why is that?
You tell me.
Why is that?
Please tell me.
Why are you doing that? That's NYPD. That's New York.
Oh my, look at that.
And look at the top. Celebrating the life, no burning flags,
Stealing,
loving
looting.
America.
Yeah, look at
Everybody
that.
was peaceful.
One more time. So I throw up
I can listen to this guy sing
All day.
I can't. I'll pause it right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam.
So you're right in many respects, but I do want to give a caveat. Everything you said about the politicians, the podcasters, the media, you're right.
Yeah.
They're driving the divide in America. But I don't have the luxury of labeling, quote unquote, 100 million people in America, the other side, as evil. And I'll tell you why.
I didn't say all of them are
No,
evil.
I know. I'm just saying, this is me.
No, I think you
All
need
my
the premise
friends-
to kind of toss back at Vinny there, but make your point.
Excuse me?
I think you made the premise to toss back at Vinny, but go ahead and make your point.
Are you hosting the show right now? What are you doing right now?
You don't like that? You don't like the statement?
What's
Toss
happening?
back what, Tom? What did he toss back?
Said he was saying, he opened it up, which I think was drawing a line on Vinny's point, and I'm saying, make your point. You said that's not what I was doing. I don't have the luxury of taking 100 million people and calling them the other side, and you were, I think, throwing that at Vinny. I don't think that was Vinny was doing. I'm just saying, I don't think that's what he was doing, but make your point.
It's happening right now.
Go
Can
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Tom, respectfully, let me address Vinny. Thank you. You're calling.
This is so funny. Go ahead.
Tom, you good?
I'm very good.
Okay, go
Are
ahead.
you though?
Yes.
Adam, go ahead.
I thought I was talking to Vinny, but I don't know what happened here. But love you, Tom. Let me address Vinny. I agree with you, everything you're saying on the Democratic side of things, the politicians, the podcasters. These people are what I would call representatives. They're not here to be synergists. And it's equal on both sides, whether it's AOC, whether it's Jasmine Crockett, whether it's Rashida Tlaib, whether it's Ilhan Omar, who I think is discussed. You could say the same for the Marjorie Taylor Greens. You could say for the Lauren Boeberts. You could say for the same for the Anna Paulina Luna, who I actually think is awesome. These are representatives. They represent a very small district. And the way that they get eyeballs is to inflame people. What they say is, Senate is the cooling sauce for America. You don't see senators as much as representatives doing this because they have a bigger constituency. You don't see governors doing this. At times, you tend to see presidents sometimes like Trump, but they need to calm the flames right here. I'm with you that there's a large contingency on the left and right that stokes the flames and gets eyeballs because their constituency is this big, right? And a lot of them are anti-white, anti-Christian, anti-male, and it's disgusting. And we can address that. That's a big thing in this country. What I was talking about, not having the luxury of being like, and I'm not saying you're saying this, I think you were talking about the politicians and the podcasters, but the luxury of this, my mom's a Democrat. My friends are Democrats. Like, people in my circle are Democrats. I have a lot of Republican friends. I have a lot of Democrat friends. What I'm trying to do is saying, when we say the other side, let's be specific to talk about what we mean. And I think that's what you meant. Because there's people in my life who go like, dude, I like your show, but do you hate me because I'm a Democrat? I'm like, no, not. But you keep saying that I'm the devil and I'm evil. Like, no, bro. Like, we're talking about this. So what I'm saying is, let's not conflate Democrats or liberals to the far left woke mob and the politicians that represent them.
But from what I've been seeing, it's not just the far, Adam. I'm seeing family members. I'm seeing people where the veil has come completely off, and it's not just a small little fringe of the far left. Adam, I'm talking about a lot of these people are showing their true colors, and at the end of the day, and I've said this on other shows, what are they standing on? When you say the Democratic Party, what are their principles? What are their morals? What do they care about? Because if I'm just an outsider looking in, they're not, Adam, I'm not talking about like your mom Democrats that are nice and they're sweet and they're like, I don't like what's happening. I'm talking about the majority of them. If God forbid something happens to Trump, they're going to cheer in the streets.
Yeah.
They're cheering right now for Charlie. They're mad that the border is closed. Adam, when Trump or whoever is trying to save like unborn children, they're like, how dare you? It's my body, my choice. But when it comes to the vaccine, they're like, shut up. Your body, it's our choice.
Yeah.
The government's choice. Yep. We get to put in you whatever we want. So I understand. I'm not lumping them all together, but just a vibe. I want a vibe check of the other. What are they doing to calm Adam? Because the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Donald Trumps, they didn't ask for this smoke. The moment this guy came in, it was you destroy him.
Well,
they got to fight for.
Well, let's. Trump is who they vilified.
But the whole
they didn't go after Marjorie Taylor Greene.
But Marjorie Taylor Greene is a
AOC.
soldier in the fight for Adam. Because at the end of the day, yes, she's angry. They all have different walks of their life, if they're faith, whatever. But Adam, how many times can our side get pushed and labeled? And guess what? We have the Stephen Millers and we have the people that are like, hey, enough is enough.
Yeah.
And they're fighting with their voices at them. They're not sniping people. They're not burning down churches. They're not killing each other. They're not beating up and killing cops.
Exactly.
There's a whole difference.
I'm with
exactly.
you.
You're exactly right.
I want to hear Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
You're exactly right. And this started where you brought up something. And what you brought up, you said, where was a Democrat or someone on the left that was willing to be there, even in the audience? Or speaking, right? Because Charlie was reaching across the aisle. You see what the note he sent to Van Jones was not unique. He reached out to many people like this. And so where were they? And you know what I marvel at, it's not Martin Luther King. It's the Reverend Martin Luther King. And he started and he was giving speeches in churches. And these sweet African-American people that were hoping that civil rights would bring things forward and improve things for them were in churches in their Sunday best. And then they walked down streets and they were hit with water cannon and things like this. It started in churches, and it started with faith, and it started with peace. And when he said, I have a dream, what was the dream about? About little boys and little girls coming to the same place and coming to a point of understanding. Well, guess what? In 2006, Ann Coulter, who I'm not comparing to Martin Luther King, she's one of many commentators, but she wrote a book that captured it in 2006 called Godless, The Church of Liberalism. And it was so correct. That book is now 20 years old, but it is exactly on point with what's happened here. And you know what? You know what she needs? You know what Jasmine Crockett needs? She needs that there's no progress with civil rights, because that is, I keep saying it, that's her blankie. She needs that. She needs to be angry about that, because they need to be victims, and victims need to take to the streets against your oppressors, and that's the reaction that they push for. And so we counter with love. And when I say the we, I'm saying the collective we, the people that want to put faith as our foundation, reasonableness, dialogue as our foundation, and come out and say, let's have a conversation about this. They need civil rights to be, oh, it's going in reverse, it's danger. They have to have danger, danger, bad person, you know, go to the streets, overthrow, because liberalism is a victim-based, feeling-driven religion unto itself. And that's where it is. And so Stephen Miller is right. We've had enough of this. We can't have the victimness. We have to be we the people, reaching out for all people, reaching across aisles. But Jasmine Crockett wants none of that. She wants the anger to continue. She needs the anger to continue, unfortunately. But and I'm not commentating. This is by her own lips. This is by her own lips. And so Dana Bash, who's been hit, boy, Dana Bash, if you're on a highlight reel for the last year, she's had some interviews where have gone really kind of weird. I'm not picking on her, but in this one, she kind of sat up and said, don't you feel that you have something here?
Something special happened last week. Before we went to the memorial, Vinny had a new collection. And we just got a report from Leo how successful that collection was. I'm going to have Vinny say a few thoughts and few words about the Faith Over Fear. Vinny, share with them why you're excited about this shirt.
Oh, I mean, I think
we rarely do back-to-back.
I don't think we ever have done back-to-back.
But it's such a big hit, especially with the timing of it.
But so as you guys can tell, you know, cross on the front, Faith on the Fear on the back. I wore this on Sunday, and I went to a diner, and I'm sitting there. Guys, a guy pats me on the back, sits down next to me, starts telling a story about his faith and his family, starts crying. A waitress comes, and she's just sitting there. Her name is Mary, sitting there staring at me. I'm at Lester's Diner. I had 5 people around me talking about faith and something is happening, Pat. I got emotional walking in here today with you and crying. And guys, just having faith, okay? Matt Sapala, you mind if I say?
Crazy.
Guys, Matt Sapala is a huge, big time, loyal, amazing guy and friend with his wife Sheena. Dude, he just got on a plane, literally flew to Arizona. No joke. I think, Pat, you're gonna send it to Rob. Guys, he flies to Arizona, nothing, no ticket.
He has no way to get in.
He has no way to get in.
Yeah.
He texts back, goes, I'm here. Guys, Rob, how many people were walking around outside?
Well, they said that there were around 100,000 in the area. There were 60,000 inside the stadium, so 40,000 walking around trying to find a way to get in.
We're driving in circles. We don't know where we're going.
And out of nowhere, we see Matt Sapala.
Now Pat goes, hey, there's Matt right there.
There he is. And long story short, we get him in the vehicle, and he goes, and Pat goes, what are you doing here? No wife, no. He's like,
he said, faith over fear.
No, he goes, I just had faith that God, something told me just get on an airplane and go. And he goes, here I am. And he got in our van, and we got him in, and the word faith jumped out. I go, see how God works.
Security, the whole nine.
So guys, the thing behind it is just having faith over fear. We don't know, none of us saw Jesus Christ, but I have faith because I've heard the stories and I believe in my heart of hearts, and never, guys, all this stuff, everything that happened with Charlie, zero fear. And we found out that Charlie, God rest his soul, died instantly. And I have faith that in that instant second, he was with Jesus and he was with God in heaven. So that's it, guys. So faith over fear. Let people know that I'm not scared. We're not scared about nothing. Zero, because we have faith. Period.
Go to vtmerch.com, place your order. Faith over fear. Rob, can we make sure we put the if you can go to the website so I can show exactly where it's at and they can find it. You literally go to vtmerch.com and it's the first thing we have there. Go on the collection. There's multiple colors. The white.
Apparently the red is doing really good.
Yeah. Go whichever color you want. You pick and choose gray. Get your shirt represent. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.